Okay, so it's been a minute. I've been in jail uh, for going to a funeral. And I bring this up because it's a little crazy. Um, there's a penal code in California that says that basically um, no no judge, DA, government official, or anything else has the power to sentence a parole violation other than the parole officer. Now, I bring this up because in my violation, the judge wanted to give me community service. The judge wanted to let me out so that I could go to college because I was enrolled. But instead, I was denied due process, and I was denied an effective hearing. And the judge tried, to her credit, to work something out with my parole officer. But that didn't matter, because all he wanted was for me to do 6 months in jail. No matter what it did to my life, no matter how it affected me, and I think at some level, he was kind of hoping that it would ruin my life, for whatever reason. Now, I'm not saying my parole officer is a vindictive person, because he's not. I want to be clear about that. But I do think that, some of the laws that we have need to be reviewed, because they're crazy. So I want to talk about due process. Due process says that you are entitled to a hearing where you can present evidence, statements, and witnesses in your defense. Well, I was denied this because even though I had presented evidence that said that I should be entitled, and the court found that I was entitled to a lesser, harsher sentence, it didn't matter. And because of that, I was denied due process. And again, this comes right back around to know your rights. Because if you don't, they do. And they are the enemy. Know that. If you think that a cop is not looking at you driving by and going, yeah, I'm going to arrest that guy today. He's not doing nothing, but I'm going to arrest him. That's for sure. If you're not thinking that, then, hey, you got a problem. The fact is that cops do more harassing than they do anything else. They plant more evidence. They falsify more statements. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that every cop is crooked. Just 9 out of 10. And they are the start of the fault in the due process and equal treatment. But equal treatment is a slippery slope. So if you're in California, I recommend that you look up California Constitution, Article 1, Section 1 Section 7. California Constitution, Article 1, Section 7. And look up case law on this. The courts have repeatedly ruled that due process is entitled in all fair and just hearings. So I highly recommend that you learn your rights, because if you don't, they'll run you over. They don't care about you. They don't care about your family. And in criminal justice, they will put a gun, proverbially, to your family's head. In my criminal case, the cops harassed my mother for 6 months, and when she finally asked them what the hell they wanted, they looked at her and said, "Tell your son to take a deal." That's simple. And it's just that simple. I mean, unfortunately, but it is. So, the next video, I'm going to talk about sacrifice and punishment. So stay tuned and subscribe. I don't really get nothing for doing these videos, and I apologize for being away so long. I'll do better to try to be around more.